The following program contains adult language, descriptions of fantasy violence, and a general lack of skill, talent, and quality. Audience discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Party of 5e, the show where a bunch of random jackoffs who met on the internet get together to play some Dungeons & Dragons. Now, you're probably asking yourself a few things right now. You're asking, should I care about yet another D&D show? Is it going to be any good? And will this guy ever stop speaking with that ridiculous accent? Because we all know he's not British. The answer to all of those questions can be met with a resounding maybe. I guess you'll have to tune in to find out. Now, speaking of regular jackoffs, it's time to meet our players. They are Kristen Corley, Enrique Macedo, Curtis Miller, and Chris Haugh. Now that you've met our players, it's time to introduce you to the world of Threa.
A long time ago, in a galaxy not too far away, in a world not unlike our own, was a party of unsuspecting and unprepared heroes. The land of Lithos, home to various humanoid kind, magical beings, and foul beasts. Yet for ages, dragons had not dared set foot here, and had only been observed in faraway lands where ordinary folks rarely encounter them face to face. That honor, or horror, was reserved for only the most devout servants, or the most fearless slayers. Chromatic dragons. Evil, greedy, arrogant beasts who rarely even associate with humanoids unless it's for a very specific purpose that naturally benefits themselves. Metallic dragons, more majestic and good-natured, value more personal items and even intangible things like conversation, experiences, and even secrets. Metallics have even been rumored to disguise themselves as innocuous members of society and live among the people for the sheer pleasantries of others. Other dragon kind, however, are the stuff of myths, legends, and nightmares. The Dragonborn people, an ancient civilization that has never been seen in present times, although remnants of their culture and ruins of their temples can still be found to this day. The city of Lost Angels, more commonly known as LA, lies along the base of Mount Taine, a long-dead volcano. LA is a melting pot, a safe haven for those weary wanderers who have decided to find a place to call home. What started as a small settlement has become a bustling suburbia, but like most communities, people with common interests, shared creeds, and even similar appearance tend to gravitate towards one another in order to give each other some semblance of the familiar in an otherwise unfamiliar land. But today, however, on this particular day, the unfamiliar is about to be seen.
We start out in LA. Several of you are probably very familiar with it. Half of you are probably you're probably new here. Perhaps you are a ranger on a quest to find your missing friend. Perhaps you are a paladin who was driven from your village after an attack. Perhaps you're a druid who actually lives here because of all the lucrative business opportunities based on your particular set of skills. Maybe you're a wizard who is trying to lay low from a catastrophe involving your master. Whatever reason that you are here, the fact is you are here. You are here now. You are here today. However, whatever circumstance brought you here, whether you live here or you're finding a place just to crash for the night, perhaps you're at the local inn, and on this particular evening, you all go to sleep and you all dream. And at this point, we all can roll for initiative.
Oh, I didn't expect that to be my first
Oh,
roll.
we're not gonna have to roll a lot.
Oh no. It's a great start.
All right. What are some numbers?
22.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Left to right. Let's go.
6.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
10.
Nice.
Yeah. Dreams gonna get us.
I'm
Yeah.
sleeping.
All right. Like, well,
We bring backups to our sessions.
All right.
The one Dex person got the high Dex score. Great job,
Match.
Ranger.
match. Right. All right. So, on this particular evening, you all fall asleep. You all dream. In the dream, you see a flash of white, a searing bright light that blinds you momentarily. When your eyes finally focus, you see yourself first-person style. You kind of look down and you see yourself. You're in some of the most immaculate armor, the most incredible pieces of equipment that you have ever seen, let alone actually ever worn. So, I know I forgot to bring this up earlier, but imagine you all are much higher level than you actually are right now. Okay? So, you're looking down, you see this immaculate armor, the most incredible weapons that you've ever used, and you notice you're in town. You're in one of the streets of town, and once your eyes finally focus, you all look up and you see an adult red dragon come barreling down and lands right in the middle of the street. All right? Obviously, this is what takes the most attention from you. And then everything else comes into focus, and you all see each other. There's no one else around. It is only the four of you in the middle of the street, now up against a giant red dragon. So, with that being said, Fox, what does everyone see? They see you. You're first.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
we all see a human ranger take the first action. What do they all see? describe your character and what she would do in this situation.
Okay. Yeah, so Fox is definitely, draped in this cape, brown and leather armor, green to kind of keep her shielded and everything, to keep her camouflaged and everything. But she's going to throw that back, and you're going to see these, tons of arrows. And she's going to take that out, and she's going to just like pinpoint as best she can Hunter's Mark and just let it go.
So you all see this. She looses an arrow at the dragon, and it does something. The dragon is actually taken aback, and it's not quite something you are used to. You figure, what would an arrow do to a dragon? Probably not much, but this particular one, it does. The next thing that you all see is Aust making some movement.
Yep, so Aust is human paladin, so in his immaculate armor, it's full plate armor. He still has the family crest, the eagle, and then everything is laid, so he has a cape, green, inlaid with silver, and he's young, so he has kind of medium shaggy hair, dark black hair, and so he's got his glaive, and he's going to go up and swing at the dragon with the glaive.
Nice. So yeah, as you do this, obviously you have to get pretty close, much
yeah.
closer than with an arrow.
I'm not scared.
Right, I'm not scared. I ain't scared. Yeah, you take swing at this dragon, and again, probably to your surprise at this point, it actually does something. It actually does damage. You see it do this immaculate, this big cut along its torso, and it seems to hurt it in a way that you never thought you could actually do to a dragon. Let's see. Lukthaen, what is the next thing that everyone sees?
So you see a relatively young drow. He's got the classic charcoal skin, white eyebrows, and then white hair, which has been neatly trimmed and parted to one side. He's wearing full robes. In this situation, they're really nice velvet purple robes with a nice belt. And he just reaches out a hand and he casts the spell Shatter on the dragon.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what that looks like?
Yeah, so it doesn't look like anything. It's and it's kind of anticlimactic, but then a split second later, there's a loud boom, and this thunderous energy ripples around the dragon. And then whatever happens from there.
Yeah, so obviously, large concussive energy hits the dragon, and again, not something you normally see or would have expected to see. The dragon is actually taken aback, and it seems to actually do some damage. Arlo, what does everyone else see?
So, Arlo is a tiefling druid. He has, instead of horns, he has antlers. He has gray skin. He's dressed in very natural-looking clothes, greens and browns. And so he would probably reach for his wand, cast a spell at it, and probably a flame spell, and try to see. And he would also kind of try to hide a little bit. He would try to get out of the way of the dragon, but still fight with it. So yeah.
Of course. A flame spell against a red dragon, probably not going to do as much.
Yeah.
But again, you definitely see that the dragon takes notice. He does not, obviously doesn't ignore any of y'all's actions, unlike, again, what you would probably suspect a dragon of this size would do. So, all this happening in your dream, you guys go toe-to-toe with this red dragon. You have no idea, you have never seen one before. not in person anyway. You've only heard stories, so it is definitely very uncommon for this to happen. Throughout your dream, you're just going toe to toe with this dragon. You have no idea really what you're doing to it, if you're making any progress. And finally, the dragon decides to use his breath weapon on you. And so you see him rear up his chest, takes a big breath, and he just blasts you. So you guys take the full brunt of it, and with that flash of heat, that flash of light right in your eyes, you all wake up. All of you wake up in your respective beds, whether it's permanent or just for the night. But that was your dream. And so now it is the next morning, and you all wake up.
Real quick.
Yes.
I've been describing my character wrong. He's a half-elf, not a human.
Well,
Yeah.
the other half is probably human.
The other half is human.
Right.
So
So,
really human looking.
Right.
Very human. He's very human-looking half-elf, but he is half-elf.
but that's okay. That's okay. I figured like he was ignoring his elvish half, and so we.
That's like his entire backstory.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, that is the dream that you all had. You all wake up in the morning. You all go about your normal everyday activities, and then you're all kind of wandering through town, doing your own thing. And go ahead, everybody, roll perception. So as you all are walking through town, you probably at this point you're walking probably along the outermost perimeter, or the outermost areas of the town before it starts bleeding into the forest.
I forgot to tell you about my cheat code.
Uh-oh.
I have the spell Find Familiar.
Uh-huh.
I usually keep a hawk as
Okay.
a familiar.
Sure.
Who would probably be like soaring and scouting. So can I use the hawk's perception, or how do you want to handle that?
I mean, in general, yes. For this one...
For this one, just...
Yeah, for this one, you probably don't need that.
Okay.
I got 19.
14.
17.
17.
30, 20.
Dirty 20, nice. So, you all are, again, you're all minding your own business, you're doing your own thing, you're wandering through town, again, kind of coming along the outskirts of town. This is, if we're looking at it on a map, the town of LA kind of half surrounds the mountain. So it kind of starts off at the top side of it, and then it kind of comes around. So again, the whole town kind of wraps around the base of the mountain. You guys are on the north side, and then the farthest west. Again, before it starts getting into the trees along the forest, and it's not far from one of the major roads that actually leads out of town. So just about everybody was able to deduce, as you all are walking along this area of town, this particular street starts to look very familiar, as if you just saw it in a dream. In that moment, you hear screaming. You hear screaming coming from down the road, and then you hear a giant thud as an adult red dragon.
Oh no.
What?
An adult red dragon drops down into the middle of the road. You also see several dragon guards with him. You see they have a very kind of a classic Roman soldier vibe to him. Helm, metal, armor jacket, red cape, stuff like that. So what you see is the dragon is using his breath weapon on many of the homes and the establishments along the side of the road. Right, he's kind of right in the middle of the road, and they're just kind of systematically going down the road. And with the perception, with pretty high perception for all you guys, you can deduce that it seems like they're looking for something. So what they're doing is the dragon is firing his breath weapon more to the tops of the homes just to kind of drive people out. It's not trying to actually destroy, although it's going to, but not actually trying to just obliterate the homes. He's not targeting people. The dragon guards, there's about 6 of them. They are kind of going into the homes. They're kind of they're ransacking everything, right? They're throwing stuff out. They're tossing, flipping tables and tossing stuff out. They are looking for something. They're kind of roughing some people up. They're not necessarily trying to fight anyone. But what happens, one of the townspeople, they decide to pick a fight with one of the guards. So they pulls out a dagger. They start going toe-to-toe. And one of the guards is kind of like wrestling with them, still on his feet, but they come out more to the middle of the street. The dragon sees this. He is not having it. He does not care. And he uses his breath weapon on that scuffle. He doesn't care that one of his guards is fighting with one of these townspeople. He is not having it. So he just blasts both of them, and they are both burnt to a crisp. The dragon, what he does, he pauses. As people are screaming, running through the streets, people are grabbing whatever loved ones and whatever things that they can find. And the dragon, he kind of stoically, he kind of beats a claw down and tries to address everyone. And he says,
I am Solas. You all weak, pathetic fools. Where is the unwinged?
And then what you see is some of the dragon guards, one of the dragon guards going up to him. He goes up to him and he says, "My lord, are you sure this is where we're going to find it?" And he says, and again, he's just pounding onto the ground. It's like,
Bring me the filth. Failure is unacceptable. For you,
and he gets his snout right up to the guard.
For you, failure means death.
And with that, he goes about, hitting a few more of the homes with his breath weapon, and the guards continue to kind of ransack the place. What you guys also notice is a lot of the people, since you guys are right near the tree line, a lot of the people, they're just trying to run, right? They're just making for the tree line. Cover is the only protection they're going to have from a flying creature. So everyone is making way for the forest. Let's fix that real quick. That's the pointer. Okay. And then what happens is the dragon then he unfurls his wings, and with a large beat of his wings, he flaps. He flies upward. And one of the things that you guys also notice, again, people are scrambling. They're grabbing whatever they can. A group of people is trying to load up like a cart or carriage so they can hightail it out of there. The dragon, he after he lifts off the ground, he goes and grabs that cart with several people on it, and he just carries it off. He takes it with him. You all see that, and after he gets about a few hundred feet in the air, he lets go, and then he keeps flying. So, what would you all be doing in this scenario?
Whoa.
Yikes.
So the red dragon guards they're still on the ground.
Right. There is about 5 of them left. So yeah, they're just going through there. They're as they slowly kind of get to your position. Give me another perception roll, please, everybody.
At this point, I would definitely have my hawk
Of course.
involved.
That one was not good.
18.
18.
10.
5.
My hawk friend got a critical success 24.
Nice. Okay.
I got a 30-20.
Nice. What was yours again? You 10?
Yeah.
That's probably good enough. But you all, but most of you, in the fray, in the fracas, you all notice each other. And you're not sure where you all notice each other. You all don't notice him. He probably doesn't notice you. But you all, this entire scene looks pretty familiar, as if you just saw it in a dream. You obviously don't know each other. You don't know how you are all connected, but some way, somehow, you are now. So you guys see several dragon guards ransacking. They're getting closer and closer to your position, and you also see most other people. They're just running. They're making for the forest in order just to get out of there. So, what all would you like to do now?
So I didn't notice them. So with linear focus is what I'm going to say is after seeing the dragon drop the cart and then the guards, I'm going to go up to the first guard I see and just demand answers and go, I am Sir Aust Laigin of the House Laigin. What on earth do you think you're doing here?
Right. So in that moment, that guard, he just kind of, not to grapple you, he just kind of takes you by the shoulders, and what you see is on his face, you see he is afraid. You see the horror in his own face. And he takes you by the shoulders and he's like, please, if you don't have what he wants, just run! Run! And he tries to push you away. So, what does everyone else like to do?
I'm intrigued by all these people who I just saw in my dream.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna try to follow whoever starts moving away first. So I would probably not to where I'm super visible. I want to try to kind of, I don't know them yet, so I'm still curious about all of this. I don't want to be known, so I'm gonna follow and go try to hear what he's hearing,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of stay around the area. I'm still out there, but also he clearly has his hand on his wand, ready to do anything that needs to be done. But so far he thinks that this is very strange, and I'm just gonna wait and see what everybody else does before I do anything crazy.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
My character is terrified,
Naturally.
and is just cowering behind the same tree, and is basically stupefied, and he's just taking it all. Obviously he's doing a really good job of surveying from where he's at, but he's like frozen solid, he's terrified.
This is all very triggering for Fox as well. I've been having basically on the smaller scale, but the same thing kind of happening in my town, and so I'm kind of, I'm recognizing these people here and knowing that we should do something about this, but at the same time I'm trying to kind of get these people out, right, the villagers and everything, just trying to get them going, towards the trees and kind of trying to secure the area so that hopefully we can come together and do something about
Well,
this.
like I said, Lukthaen definitely clocks you guys.
Yeah,
you pretty
nobody-
much notice too. So you guys kind of notice, like.
Just
I know, but get up.
okay. At Fox's demand, I will stand up, and I'm still got like one hand on the tree that's next to me for support. And I'm like, what next?
People.
Yeah, he left. He left.
Oh!
So while that's happening, after the guy tries to push me away, I'm gonna say, no, I was just survived another dragon attack. What are you trying to accomplish here?
So again, he's not going to be. He's not very forthcoming. He's pretty. He knows what they're looking for, obviously. And if you had to ask, if you had to ask, then you don't know. But yes, they are definitely looking for something. So he's probably not going to answer very many of your questions. So he's just going to keep shoving you away. Probably, as people are fleeing, he's probably just going to keep pushing you in that direction. Because, picking a fight with you, that's only going to deter him from doing what he needs to do, which is find whatever it is that they're looking for. And we have seen what happens to his comrades if they don't do what the dragon is asking them to do. So.
But they're not currently committing violence against the
No, they're
townspeople.
not actively fighting people. It was another guy that started
Yeah, I
going
got
after
you.
him. So that's not what they're after.
Once I see that they're trying to help the people out, I think I'm also try to lead people out, especially more towards the druids to the forest, and just because I think that there will be better help than them having just to be out here. So I'll get with them and try to get people out, get people moving. And then do we find out what happened to that cart? Did it just come, land, died? It seems like people died.
It was probably several hundred feet
Okay.
feet away. You can probably assume what happened,
Yeah.
even though you didn't see it.
High-level wizard cast Featherfall, and they're all fine.
Oh, okay. a couple of actions ago, but okay. No, so yeah. All right. So it sounds like most of us are kind of making our way, kind of helping people along, get to the trees. No,
I've stood up
you stood up. That's about it. Okay.
Yeah.
because a woman of conviction has told me to do so.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of triggering. Yes.
Common threads.
That tracks. That tracks.
Yeah, so at this point, if Aust doesn't see these guards committing any atrocities, I'm going to then try to get any straggling townsfolk and try to get them to safety as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys, so most of you are kind of trying to help kind of ferry people across, from their homes across the street, as the fires, obviously, as fires tend to do with homes that are very close to each other. The fire kind of keeps carrying over to one house to another. That's one reason why the dragon didn't need to be here the entire time, because it's just going to happen, right? As the guards keep going through, house by house, looking for whatever it is they're looking for. So, as most of you guys are helping to get people into the trees, and into the woods, do you guys go with them, or?
Can I roll another perception to see if I finally notice?
Yes, you can. Yes, enough things. The situation has changed
We've
enough.
passed by you 5 times.
It's a
now.
9. So probably not.
But again, you all
No, it's a
noticed
really
him,
pretty
so
flower, yeah.
I feel like I'm definitely between like the I'm like the guard. That's how I'm feeling. So I'm trying to like just get everybody behind me into the forest so that I can kind of focus on the evil here and hopefully clean this out. These guys.
Do we still see the dragon? Is the dragon still flying overhead?
So
or
the dragon, no, he's not.
After he dropped the cart?
Yeah, after he dropped the cart, he kept flying upward toward the top of the mountain, and that's the last that you have seen of him at this moment.
So do we know what's in the forest? Like all these people are just heading to the forest? Or are they just like going towards the tree line?
Yeah, they're just going into the trees because that's the only. Yeah. They don't know how to fight a dragon, obviously. So the only thing that they can think to do is just take cover, and trees obviously offer a decent amount of cover against a flying creature. That's all that they know how to do. So they're just going to run into the forest, and some of them they're just going to keep running. Right? There's no reason for them to stay. They're just going to keep running into the forest. What you so real quick. What do you guys want to do now? Just want to make sure I'm clear on what is happening.
I think since he hasn't seen us, I think I'm gonna grab him and be like, we need to go. And so I think I will at least try with him head into the forest also.
Okay.
So I don't know if y'all will follow.
No, I'm staying. I'm sticking out there. I feel like this is fate. Like I'm supposed to be here, so I'm not going into the forest.
Yeah, I mean if the dragon's gone, so whenever I see Arlo approaches me, tries to pull me in the forest further, I'm gonna go, well, we still need to save this, like this town is still burning down. So if anything, we need to start doing some firefighting efforts. If the dragon's not around anymore, then we need to organize some people to start throwing some water out of the well.
Most people are leaving. Like there's not a lot of people that are like staying to save anything.
Oh,
you're on the very outskirts of town.
Oh, okay.
They're not gonna wait for a fire brigade or anything like that.
When I see the three of them start to congregate, I will very gently, kind of following the line of the trees, make my way over to the group.
Okay. So you guys are along the tree line now?
I would still be.
Yeah, and you're trying to make your way into the trees, and you're ferrying people into the trees, so you're right along the edge of the forest, right?
Yeah.
But you haven't gone in yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of those moments, so you guys have all kind of finally all gotten together, right? The four of you. So, yeah, exactly. You're all taken aback. It's like
I saw you in my dream.
I know. How long have you been standing there?
I don't know. It's weird. I don't dream, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to do that.
You don't have dreams?
No, I don't.
This is your first one.
It was the first sleep of my life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't dream. Crazy. Yeah.
And now I do.
Was it just like meditation?
I'm very scared.
You look scared.
We need to get out and fast and help everybody out. I also want to keep looking back at the what were they, dragonborn?
Dragon guards.
Well,
so
dragon
they're like humans.
Okay, they're humans.
But
okay.
they're just in Roman style looking getup.
Okay. We'll keep to see if they actually find what they're looking for. So if they're just going I'm waiting for somebody to call something out and see if they congregate
right.
or whatever.
So in that moment, through one of the houses closest to you that is now on fire, the door bursts open from the inside, and you see a woman coming out, smoke just billowing out. She is covered. Her face is kind of blackened from the soot. Maybe from some of the fire. You don't know if she's been burned, but she's carrying something. It looks like a big, a bundle of blankets or something like that. But she's obviously kind of caressing, kind of holding something. You see, she's just. You can see all the from the smoke inhalation, all over her face and stuff like that. So she is she comes out of the door and she sees the four of you. And she looks at all of you and she says, "It's you." And she is, even though she is gasping for air, she just...
Can I cast a spell?
You can.
I'm going to cast the spell Prestidigitation.
Okay.
One of the functions is you can clean a space no larger than a cubic foot. I'd like to clean the soot from her face to see if it'll aid in her ability to breathe better. Okay. I mean,
it helps, but she's obviously already, she's breathed in a lot of smoke. She tried to stay in there as long as possible to try to avoid being seen. But when she did, it was directly in the presence of you all, and she seemed to recognize you. It seems to it's almost like she's relieved. She's like, "It's you," and as she kind of stumbles along, you could see she's got some burns on her. Everything else is still black. As she kind of stumbles towards you, and the thing in her hands, she tries to put into your hand. Mm-hmm. So would you take it, or
yes?
So she tries to put it in your hand, and she kind of stumbles down. She puts the thing in your hand, and then she takes the bracer that she's wearing. She takes it off, and she hands it to you, and then she says, "Protect him." And then she falls dead.
Whoa.
So, what all do you do now?
Okay.
What's the bundle?
What's the bundle, right? Yeah.
I'll tend to the dead woman, I guess.
I'm looking to see if they saw that, the dragon people.
Okay. Roll a perception to see if you noticed, if they noticed. And then I'll see if they noticed.
14.
Okay. They do not notice yet. What do you know? Our third roll of the game. So they don't notice yet, but they are getting closer and closer to your position.
I will use thaumaturgy and make like a big like just loud sound the furthest I could away from us. Mm-hmm. So like almost like an explosion, I think. So just to keep their attention, I'm gonna say, let's keep going, run as fast as y'all can out of here.
I'll do that, yeah.
And then are you
I think we
going
need to
towards
tend
the lady?
Yeah, I just
tend the woman, yeah.
I tend to her, and I don't
will.
know. I don't know medicine, but I'm like gonna probably try to check for a pulse.
Okay.
Would that be a medicine check?
Yes,
or?
please.
Well, if I see this, I'm gonna go and try to just pick her up and like try to like get you to help and just to drag her so we can keep moving.
Okay.
And then we'll check her out. So I would say that to you. Like let's keep moving. We'll check her out once we get covered.
I'm not very strong, but I'll try.
I'm pretty strong.
Yeah, someone gonna strength check that to see if you can carry or drag her?
19 on medicine.
Yep.
Okay. What were you checking for specifically?
A pulse.
You do not feel a pulse.
If that's an athletics check, it's a 23.
Okay, so you're gonna like
just fireman carry the.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just getting her out of there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've like got like one hand on her leg.
Right. It's like I'm helping. So you guys take Arlo's lead and head into the forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Arlo and Fox are leading,
yeah, of course. So yeah, you all. Let me check that off since y'all aren't gonna do that.
We missed a plot point, you guys. Dang, already.
Oh no.
Or avoided a battle. You don't know.
That's even worse.
or better. So okay. So you guys are kind of running through the forest, or as fast as you can with 23. You're probably just you're trucking. You're keeping up, right? You guys are just so you guys like fucking hoofing it, or are you just kind of meandering through?
I'd say probably a moderate to fast pace.
Yeah, seeing where we can probably.
We're not taking our time, but I'd say we're probably like a light jog,
Sure.
maybe. Yeah.
Right. Just a solid power walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go. Yeah. Let's go, guys.
Olympic power
Aware of
walk.
our surroundings.
Get those roll-ups.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Track suits.
And then you said you were gonna check the bundle, or we're not doing that yet?
We were gonna get to, I feel like, a secluded
Okay.
place first, right?
So
Like,
yeah,
we could-
you've probably gotten, probably after a couple minutes, probably a few hundred yards away from the town proper. You guys are out in the middle of the forest. You probably see several other townsfolk they're just booking it, right? They're just getting as far away as they can, as quickly as they can. At this point, you guys are definitely out of any immediate danger. So, you guys want to just keep going, or you want to stop?
I think it's
By the way,
I'm dying to know.
yeah, my Haugh familiar
This is
is kind of doing circles, probably like in a 50-foot radius from our position, just circling around the forest, and if
Like below the tree line or above the tree?
a little bit above the tree line, and if it sees anything, because it's got really good perception, so I think, like, how thick is the thick of the
I mean,
forest?
it's pretty. It's pretty thick. It's hard to get a clear view through the trees. It's a good canopy.
Okay.
So, which is why everyone thought to run to the forest. You know what I mean? Because it can't see me.
Okay. I'm still gonna have it hover kind of above the tree
Sure.
line to see if any dragons come back. I don't know.
Naturally.
And then
Because why would you think that?
first time for everything.
Right. Okay. So, you all. So you get to a stopping point. Is that what I'm
Yeah.
getting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you all get to a stopping point. What are you trying to do first? You were trying to go with...
Well, so I put the lady down,
Mhm.
and then I guess at this point, that's when you would probably do your medicine check, And so I guess we're collectively looking at her, but we find out she's...
I think she has expired, unfortunately.
Nothing like carrying a dead woman on your back for 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, she has a right to a burial.
That's true, yes. That's true.
She looked like she was very confident, so I think she should be buried.
She was
And
also very confident she knew us.
That is correct.
She gave us this.
Did you know her? Do you know me?
I swear I've seen you before. I mean, it was, I don't know. It was really it's really weird. But it was in a dream. Usually you
night.
can't make up those, So we must have seen each other.
Did you fight a dragon, by chance?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was like serious deja vu, right? I mean, incredible deja vu. Like, I see you doing some little...
Yes, I can't actually do that, by the way.
Huh?
It's too much power for me. I can't actually do that. Sorry.
What's going on? I don't know. Well, she knew what... You think she dreamt... You think she dreamt about us?
I didn't see her.
She knew us, though.
Can I past memory perception to see if I saw this woman in our dream?
Yeah, can we... Yeah, we didn't recognize her at all, right? She wasn't...
Oh, no, because remember...
it's just the four of us.
It was just for it. You saw no one else.
And the
Okay.
Yeah,
dragon.
but maybe you planted a seed.
Maybe I did. Not there. So, as you all are debating what to do next, the bundle in your arm starts to move.
Starts to move?
What
Starts to
is
move.
that?
Move. Moving. All right. So, something in your the thing covered, wrapped up in your arms begins to move.
Yikes. Okay.
What is it?
This thing is moving. I can't. I don't know. I
yet.
can't. I gotta unwrap it. I
Okay.
gotta unwrap it. 'Cause
So,
it,
what happens? You unwrap it, and you see a baby.
oh,
Not
God, I didn't drop it.
but not any baby.
Oh, God.
You see a purple-skinned dragonborn baby.
Oh no.
Oh, what?
Can I history check this thing?
You can.
I would like to join that. I'm bad at history, but I'd like to.
You.
Wow.
10.
I got a 4.
This
Okay.
precious pumpkin. I will guard you
It's
with my
purple.
life.
So
This
you
is
got.
my-
So you all. You don't not know what a dragonborn is. You've just never ever seen one before, and up until this precise moment, probably giving you too much with a 10, but in this moment, you believed they were completely extinct, a completely extinct civilization, which is what we established earlier, anyway. But yeah, that's what you get with that. So.
But there's also the bracer.
Correct. There's also the bracer.
No bracer
So
on the baby, too.
no, it's only
That would make too much sense.
You seem like someone who's astute in magical things. Why don't you take a look at the bracer and see if you can divine anything from it? Excuse me,
Yeah.
ma'am. Would you mind giving our new acquaintance here the bracer?
He's got it.
I will. As soon as you're holding it,
I didn't give him the baby. He's.
I will cast detect magic to see if there's magic.
very good,
Yeah.
very good. Can you read me exactly what that does?
Are you shaking? What's
For-
doing?
I'm very scared.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
For the
Hey,
duration,
Listen, your
You sense
hawk is keeping an eye, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but
How's
there's a
that?
language barrier.
Is it like-
it basically just tells me if it's magical or not.
Just
Yeah.
yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what kind of magic it is, right?
Yeah, I see a faint aura.
Let
And
me-
the school of magic.
Okay. You know what? Let me actually double check if this is technically magical or.
do a baby Yoda thing. I've got to get a baby doll and bring it in here. I've got to have
Purple.
a sweet purple
Yeah,
baby.
fine. Purple.
Just
And
spray.
it's got to float.
Yes.
Just spray
It
paint.
has to float.
Yeah.
Just point of order, I do have the spell Identify
Okay.
at my disposal. So if you don't want to give us more, I do have a means of earning more.
Sure. You know what? Just to avoid all the rules lawyers out there, if you want to do that,
Yeah.
you can do that.
So I'll go ahead and use a spell slot, which means I can just sit with this thing for a minute, and then I will know if it is a magical item or some other magic-imbued object. I learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement, how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
Okay. So you do that, right? You do that?
Yes.
Like, just confirming. Okay. So what this is this is a singular bracer of protection, and it gives the wearer a +1 to AC.
What?
Let's see. Yes, so it is magical, but it does not require attunement. So it adds a 1. It adds a 1 to your AC if you are not using a shield specifically.
It's a bracer of it makes you harder to hit, harder to kill. Anyone can wear it, so you just can't be using a shield. If you
Well,
would
Would
like
you
to benefit.
feel more confident if you were wearing?
she did give it to you.
Well, I feel like I was the closest one there, but she probably saw the motherly instinct in me.
Yes, I've seen
Oldest
it as well.
sibling here. Yes. So, what am I? Who would
I would
want to? I was
Yeah,
gonna
I would
it's-
say keep it,
Okay.
and then we can decide if we want somebody else to wear it.
Yeah,
but
surely.
for you,
Whoever
I mean,
for
she
you,
took it off her arm, so
for-
surely we
yeah.
can take it
Maybe
off.
whoever is holding the child should be in possession of.
That's a good point. 'Cause I'm not letting this baby go. Sorry, I won't. Okay,
It's
great.
sized for like an adult, I'm assuming. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no baby bracer. Okay, perfect. Then I'll go ahead and put that on if nobody else objects.
Added it to your inventory.
Dang, let's go ahead and equip that. Dang.
Yeah, I went ahead and did that already for you because it
There
just
it
happens.
is. Yep.
It just happens. You
That
don't-
bad boy, there it is. That's
Nuts.
cool.
Right there. Boom.
So yes, so you put
better
this
every
bracer
day.
on, and
Killer.
you don't have to attune to it. You immediately just kind of you feel your wrist tightens up just for a little bit, really just to kind of feel that extra strength, right? And then after a moment, that feeling goes away, and you are now a +1 on your AC. And now I gotta change my sheets.
That's-
So okay.
What about you?
So yes, you all had that, and yes, you have because we decided to ignore the purple dragonborn baby. So, I mean, you're all so focused on the bracer. JK. So in that moment, when you notice what has finally been bestowed upon you. From behind you, you all hear, I sense a soul in search of answers. And you all turn around and you see a elderly female, humanoid woman, and a tiny little shack.
I'm gonna cloak the baby in my cape.
And you could swear it wasn't there just a moment ago.
Okay, so my detect magic
Uh-huh.
stays on for I think 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it magical?
Is what magical?
What we're seeing or what we're hearing?
There, I mean, short answer is yes, there is magic.
Okay.
So she's looking at all of you, and again, she says, I sense a soul in search of answers. And so she's looking at all of you. What do you guys do now?
I would like to grasp my emblem and use my divine sense to find out if she is celestial, fiend, or undead.
Pretty sure it's going to be no.
Or if anything in the area is affected by the Hallow spell. That's not really anything.
The short answer is going to be no. She's not a fiend or an undead.
Okay.
Or what was the other one? Celestial?
Celestial.
Right. No.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a
I
few
will
steps behind the paladin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. Just
Try to. be
And then I'm going to
casual, but it's
go,
not
who are
casual.
you and where did you come from?
it's like, me? I've been here.
This clearing was empty when we got here.
No. Not empty. You just didn't see it. And besides, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about him.
Oh.
I kind of peer out. I'm like, don't touch the baby. In a rare moment of.
So, in that moment, the baby starts to kind of, like a cat when it doesn't want to be carried anymore. And so it starts kind of like kicking away from you, and it tries to jump down.
Yeah, no. I'm grasping for dear life. It hurts.
So
It's-
it's trying to just kind of have you let it go just a little bit. So you're gonna try to hang on to it.
Shh. No. You're still
Give me a strength check.
Yikes, it's the baby. That's gonna be strength.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be an 11.
He got a 16.
The baby out wrestled you.
A dragonborn baby.
That's
So I mean, even if you want to say a disadvantage, let's see, because it's a baby. It's 14. What was yours again? Oh yeah.
Less.
So it's able to get out of your arms, and it lands on its feet, and immediately it begins walking. Like it's like, How's a baby walking?
Right.
But it is a dragonborn baby. You guys don't... Your characters don't know this, but, as far as players go, dragonborn babies, they grow very fast. So yes, this baby is... and by baby, I mean, like, kind of like toddler size. He's probably about, 2 feet tall right now. Full standing, right? But they can crouch up. Obviously, some dragonborns come from eggs, right? Dragonborns are created in other ways, but your characters will learn this as we go. So he's probably only about 2 feet tall, but he walks toward the older lady. Her name is Adira. Just for your reference, her name is Adira.
Did she introduce herself?
No, I'm just telling you guys. So what happens is the Dragonborn walks up to the older woman and lets her pick him up. And what you do is he just kind of, she just kind of cradles him, and they just kind of stare at each other for a little while. And then it's like obviously a little bit of an awkward silence. Like, what's going on? So they're looking at each other, and then she just, of course they are. Well, so it's like they kind of stare at each other a little bit more, and you go ahead and roll me perception to see if you guys can pick
I'm
up.
gonna have to retire this D20. Jesus.
This one's done.
Ooh, yeah. Yikes.
That's
That should be a 19.
That's an 11. That one's going in timeout.
11.
I'm very invested in this baby.
Yes. So probably some kind of inherent motherly instinct perhaps takes over. You can see they are communicating. You're not hearing any of it, but they are communicating.
My heart sinks a little.
So she is speaking to him out loud, but then he is obviously not responding verbally. Again, takes another moment, and she looks up at all of you. He's like, it's going to be rough, but it might be the only way. So she puts him down, and then the baby walks back towards you.
Oh, my sweet baby.
And puts his hands up.
Oh, yes. So happy to come back. That's great. Did when you were communicating, did
Shaking
you
it.
find... Yeah, all right. Listen, what?
Where is she?
Did you find out the name of the baby?
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm asking.
It's like, perhaps he can tell you. So he looks up at you, and without speaking, without actually moving his mouth, you hear him say, so here's the telepath. So he kind of stares at you kind of intently. Not quite that intently. Not that intently.
Dang.
As intently as a baby can.
Right, it's like, oh, damn. It's like, oh,
baby.
slow down.
Dwayne the Dragonborn Johnson.
Right, we just met here. He looks at you, and and you hear in your mind, you hear him say, "My name is Fayal. What is yours?"
Fayal.
How do you spell that just for
That is FA'Al.
Fail.
Amazing. Excellent.
It's our DBB. Dragonborn baby.
That's right. DBB.
It's our DBB.
Correct. Now, cutscene.
Whoa.
What you all don't see. The dragon Solos. He flew up. You saw him fly up to the top of the mountain before you all ran into the woods. What he did was he flew into the crater of the extinct volcano. And he flew down into down into the mountain. He gets to the base of the crater. Now, when we're looking at this crater, it is uncanny at how symmetrical and how smooth all of the sides are, as if it's just like a straight cylinder going straight out the top of the mountain. So he flies into it, and the ground is very smooth. It's like the lava raised to a certain amount and stayed there forever and just got solid in a singular, flat, smooth plane. He drops down onto the base of that crater, and it's like a dog like sniffing around. He's just kind of like almost like he's looking for something. He's kind of sniffing around, and he gets about almost square in the middle of the crater. And then again, with a big flap of his wings, he flies straight up, and then he nosedives straight into the straight towards the crater, and the largest breath weapon he could muster, he fires straight down into the crater. Cut back to what you guys got going on.
Right. What?
So what you guys have going on is so now you all have been introduced, and you all start to hear this what he is saying. So he is now opened up to all of you, and you're hearing him telepathically, because he's not moving his mouth when he speaks. So he looks at all of you and he says, "Are you all my watchers now?"
I believe we are.
What does that mean?
Well, and then of course he looks down at the woman that you all had brought with you. Looks down and he says, "She was my first watcher. It appears that this journey is too difficult for even some of the best of them." So
Yeah, we're gonna snuggle a little bit. Sorry, this is killing me. Oh.
So now he looks up at each of you, or all of you collectively, and he says, "Well, I guess we now must begin our journey." And then he points to the west. That way.
What's over there?
Our next step.
Adira? Does she have anything else to...
Adira just looks at you all and he says, and she also notices your bracer, and obviously sees the fallen woman, and she says, "It is you all who have been chosen, not I." And then she begins to turn, just slowly walk back towards her little hovel. What do you guys want to do now?
I think we need to bury the past
Watcher.
watcher.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask Fail if he wants to take part.
So you all you take the time to bury the fallen watcher.
Fayal, do you know if she had any deities or religious rites that we should adhere to in this moment?
I do not know specifically. She never told me as such.
How long were you acquainted with this woman?
Only a short time, perhaps only days.
But she was one of the best.
Well, all
I
of
ask because you seem, really
well,
by her. Like,
all of the sisterhood, they must be of a certain caliber.
The sisterhood?
Am I in the sisterhood?
Am I in the sisterhood? Who's in the sisterhood?
He looks at you. It's like, you are not. And then he notices your bracer. Perhaps, are you?
This was passed to me. Is that what happens?
Not quite. It's not so informal.
I think we've got to get you into the sisterhood. I don't know if I'm qualified with my equipment.
What's your Alright.
So, after you all have buried the body, Fayal, he looks around a little bit and kind of digging through the brush and, along the ground, and he finds a stick, a stick about a foot and a half long.
That's good boys do.
Hell yeah.
And he begins to walk to the west.
All right, I think we're heading west.
Okay, all right. So, you are all...
so fast.
Right, growing up so fast. All right. So that means that you are all now a party of 5.
Hey.